everyone. You're welcome to the Total Education Show.
School is not just about academic subjects alone. School is also about co-curricular activities. School is engagement with fun.
Development of a child is 360, and that's why we have tagged this program Total Education Show.
Stream is here to raise kids that will identify the problems, come together as a group, and see a way to correct the error.
We normally say that we have 4 baskets of rights. So four baskets
of rights. At the end of 3-year training in technical colleges, students are competent enough to take any job.
Sit down, relax, and enjoy the show. Thank you. Hello friends, hello everyone at home. My name is Wumi Tolu Alalade, your anchor on the Total Education Show. Yes, Total Education Show. The show is put together and packaged by the Lagos State Ministry of Education for your co-curricular aspect of education. So you have a total and a valued education system even in your homes. Yes. Now, what areas will we be looking at? We're going to be looking at STEM issues. We're going to be looking at TVET, and we'll be looking at, yes, child protection issues. Everything that has to do with child protection and advocacy of your children, even as they are home. Now, do you want to give me feedback? Yes, I want to hear from you. You can send in your feedbacks to me on this WhatsApp number 081-26601-889. Yes, WhatsApp messages only on 081-26601-889. Yes, I'm waiting and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Sit down, relax, and enjoy the show. Thank you. Hello everyone, good day. Welcome to today's show. The show is called Total Education Show, as we all know, and today we'll be talking about child protection issues. Yes, we have been having these conversations in the previous episodes, and in this episode we'll also be having with me Mrs. Titilola Adeniyi-Vival, and she'll be talking to us and taking us through the role of schools, the role of the school administrators, the role of the government, and she'll be talking and shedding more light on the executive order on Lagos State safeguarding and child protection policy. And she will also be looking at those issues that borders on how can you recruit your staff in a way that you follow the procedures and the guidelines that the government have put in place, so that you can be able to identify big people that you should be wary of, or people that have committed offenses in relation to child abuse. So please sit down, relax, and enjoy the show. And I want you to remember that you can always send us feedbacks on the number showing on your screen. I would like you to stay with us, and then we'll be right back. Hello everyone, you're welcome to another episode of the Total Education Show. Today on child protection issues and child abuse issues, we're going to be talking about some other aspects, or the rounding off aspects, and we'll be looking at our roles. When we're saying roles, we've talked about the roles of parents, we've talked about the roles of the community. Now we want to look at the roles of schools. The administrators, the educators, the teachers, the school social worker, and also the role of the government in ensuring that there is a reduction in incidents of child abuse. And today on the show, I still have with me Titilola Adeniyi. She's there to continue our conversation. You're welcome to the show, Titi.
Thank you so much for having me again.
Thank you, thank you. Here today we want to just look at some aspect that has to do with governmental aspects to child abuse or child protection issues and safeguarding issues. We want to look at the role of the administrators in the school, the principal, the head teacher, the vice principals, the assistant head teachers, the head of units, even the HODs and all other people in the school. Also looking at the roles of the social worker, or probably in our schools, you could be the health officer, or you could be the guidance counselor, and then we want to look at the role of the government in ensuring children are adequately safeguarded and protected. Yes. So before we go on, I want you to just begin with telling us what child protection advocacy is all about, and then tell us about what is safeguarding. You know, to safeguard, there are so many meanings to it, but in this context, what is safeguarding and how do you protect?
Thank you once again for having me.
Thank you very much.
So safeguarding is the umbrella term. Under safeguarding, you have child protection. Everything that measures that are put in place to ensure that children are able to live their lives to the full potentials without being thwarted by abuse. So safeguarding are measures you put in place. The way you build your school, is the safety of the child guaranteed? The way you run your school, is the safety of the child guaranteed? Even as little as the place where the toilet facilities are located.
How far is it, or far away is it that probably nobody can see what goes on there?
Exactly. Are those things, when you're doing all those and making all those interventions, are you putting safeguarding in at the back of your mind? Because if we are safety conscious, put measures in place, recruitment of teachers, recruitment of all these people you mentioned, a background checks,
all staffs in the
all
school,
staff, to make sure that this person does not have any prior criminal
records,
bordering on interface with children. These are measures you put in place to, if you can't even prevent, but reduce the chances of it happening in the first place. So generally that's safeguarding. Another safeguarding, you have health, you have education, you have prevention of abuse and all of that. Now protection, child protection, is under safeguarding as well, but it's more of an instance of child abuse has occurred. What are the measures? What are the response mechanisms that are in place to adequately respond to a disclosure of abuse? So we're dealing with institutions. In that regard, we're dealing with the relevant laws, the relevant policies that government would have enacted to ensure that the rights of children are adequately enforced and enshrined.
Yes.
So I don't know if that...
yes, we do have that in Lagos with the child rights law.
Exactly.
And looking at all the work that government has been doing in recent times, even right from time memorial, always ensuring that we try to protect the children. I know that in our schools, as a teacher, I know that we don't just flog or do anything anymore. Rather, we have developed strategies in curbing and reprimanding children that violates or do one thing or the other that is against the rules and regulation of the school management. Now, talking about that, I want you to look at ways that we can actually practice this safeguarding principles in reducing child abuse.
So in 2016, the governor actually ratified an executive order establishing the safeguarding and child protection policy. And that executive order mandates all child-centered institutions to adopt a safeguarding and child protection policy in their respective institutions.
So whether you're a school, anywhere, crèche, church,
anywhere that there is a gathering, a convergence of children, you have a duty to ensure that those children, as far as they are under your purview, for whether 1 hour, 2 hours, or whatever,
as long as they're with you,
adequately safeguarded and are adequately protected. So if we look at the schools, for instance, there must be background checks. There's what we call safer recruitment procedures that must be adopted. And I'm very happy to note that the recent employment of teachers
Okay, yes.
that was conducted by TESCOM
Yes.
actually adhered to the provisions of the policy.
We have to.
Yeah. Yes, we are the ones that enact.
Yes.
And we also
so
have
we
to
have to. We have
implement.
to.
They
There's
ensured
zero
there were
tolerance to abuse.
to all forms. Background checks were done. Even in the letters of engagement, the issue of
Yes.
safeguarding and child
Safeguarding
protection policy
was mentioned.
was included in the
Yes.
letter. And I think government is leading the way
Yes.
in the way we respond appropriately. So, and of course, that's the role of government, to create an enabling environment
Yes.
for us to be able to respond. Going to the rules of schools, part of the policy provides that the heads or the principals or administrators must appoint a designated safeguarding and child protection officer.
Yes, I think we have that in our schools. Yes. But the other private schools, and we have so many cadres of schools, or should I say category of schools. We have the low cost, we have the medium, then we have the upper scale one. But it is pertinent. So far we're in Lagos State, and you're a resident of Lagos State. You have your school located in Lagos State. It is very important that you abide by the safeguarding rules and the protection law of child right law of Lagos State. And when we come back, we'll be looking, we'll be having an extra look at this executive order on Lagos State safeguarding and child protection policy. She's going to give us more, add more flesh to it so that we can actually know what we're talking about. Please sit back, relax, and don't go away. We'll be right back. welcome back. We want to go on fully now and look at the Executive Order of Lagos State Safeguarding and Child Protection Policy. We want to have, like the scientists to say, an history of all the policy and where the areas that are very important to us as a parent, a child that is prone to abuse, and the teachers, then the community at large as a resident of Lagos State. What are those things? What is it about, the executive order?
The policy just basically draws from the Child's Rights Law. And of course the African Charter on the Rights of Children. The policy is somewhat like the practical implementation.
Okay, step-by-step ways that
yes.
we can implement.
Exactly. A child comes to meet you as the DSU, confides in you. Is it your duty to go and propagate what the child has told you? Bearing in mind that everything that the child says to you utmost confidentiality.
Yes, confidentially, and because the child trusts you.
That is why the child came to you.
Yes.
So you mustn't betray that child's trust. How should the DSU respond upon receiving disclosures of abuse?
No matter how sordid
you must have your poker face. Act like as if the child
it's nothing.
You know, we have children that say, "Oh, a child is pregnant. Who is responsible? My father."
That is not. You don't do that.
You don't. Oh, really? Oh, that's okay.
So you keep
it's
a
not
straight
the end
face.
Of the world. There's life after this. Assure the child.
So that the child has that confidence that yes, I've come to the right person.
Exactly. It goes beyond teaching.
Yeah.
You have
it's
to be
not
assured
academics.
that your child is safe. As you come into the school, you need to check that the school is registered with government, first of all.
Definitely, very important.
There must be a poster, some people use flex banners, whatever it is, that this school has adopted a safeguarding and child protection policy. And this is the designated safeguarding child protection officer.
Okay.
Even in the time when you're doing induction, there must be something on safeguarding and child protection.
Yes, that would
and
be
if
mentioned.
there isn't, it is your duty to request for the school's policy. Because this policy, we say policy, but this is what will activate our subsequent response
By
to disclosures
you,
of abuse of our children. Amongst other things, the DSU is supposed to engage the children regularly on their rights. They have a duty to participate in their protection. They have to be carried along. They need to be empowered because we will not always be there.
At all.
But when the child is alone, have we been able to inculcate all those values in them and all those
that
all that information,
even
so
if there's no one around them.
Exactly. So that is so.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lola. You've indeed explained, and we can really see that these issues are not that out of it or out there, but we can relate. You know, you made it so simple by relating every issue to real life cases, and we're able to see that actually, even as a parent, you can be the safeguarding and child protection officer in your home.
Definitely.
Yes, because we should research and make ourselves available for trainings so that we can be able to detect and know how to respond. Before we conclude today's episode, I want you to briefly talk about how do you recruit in a safe manner, you know, observing the safety, safeguarding and protection law. How do you do that?
So in the policy, I forget the exact section, but there's a section on safer recruitment procedure. And it provides that background checks for
anyone
people
you intend to recruit
must be done. You know, we have the sex offenders register in Lagos.
So when you do that check, you will see them.
Yes.
Oh. As an organization, you can apply to check, to run a check.
As an individual.
Maybe you want to get a house help, for instance, or someone like a nanny.
Exactly. Okay. This is done abroad. You know, and it is, we have the facility.
I think they've started doing that, but it's just not out there yet.
It's not out there. And it goes back to hands-on parenting.
Even getting a driver.
Yes.
If you want to employ a driver in your home, so this is not only school.
Interface with your children.
With your children. You need to run a background check on them.
So either you check the sex offenders register, or there are even some protocols that can be observed at Alagbon police, the formation there, where they do background checks and then your details are
Do we need to pay for this?
That is actually, I understand it's free. The policy goes a step further to request that any intending employee must also sign an affidavit of good behavior as regarding their relationship with children. And we found out that in the past, when we put that on the table, some people may not come back. Because they obviously
know who they are. You know yourselves.
And you know, if you depose to an affidavit and it's found out that you're lying, that's perjury.
Yes.
That's a criminal offense.
So as a resident of Lagos State, you have a right to do a background check on anyone that will be coming close to your children. And I know if you can do all this and we go a step further in following up on references that are given, not that we just decide that I can't disturb myself. Men, we have to disturb ourselves because we're talking about the lives of our children here on this, yes, and the future. So is there any final notes that you want to add on?
I would just like to re-emphasize the fact that child protection is everyone's business. It's everyone's
So it's my business, it's your business. Yes. It's all of us business.
And it's not see something, you say something, good, and you do something.
Very good. So say something. If you say something, you say something, and you do something. On that note, we'll round up today's program. And we say thank you to Lola for being here today. So we hope that if you have any questions, anything you want to know more, or you want to have a way to report cases that you've not had the opportunity to talk to anyone about, feel free to send text messages to the number showing on your screen, and we'll refer you to the right quarters so that your issue can be addressed. Please don't forget to join us the same time, same station as we go on with the Total Education Show. I remain your anchor, Mrs. Wunmi Tolualalade, and also Barrister Lola Vivo Adeniyi. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. You're welcome. Wow. In fact, I've learned a lot today. I'm sure you have as well. We've learned a lot, and we've been able to see the need and the importance of ensuring that anybody that will come across our children or that will be in contact with our children, we need to run a background check on all of them, on each and every one. Then we should follow up on the references that we get when we go and do that. Please ensure that you keep your children safe, and you ensure that your environment is safe. The school, even as they resume soon, you ensure that you look at all those points that Barrister Vivo has talked about, and ensure that you have it in place before you put your children in the care of anyone. I want to say thank you for being a part of this show. We appreciate all your comments and all your feedbacks, and we assure you that we continue to bring to your screen things and issues that you will be happy that we're bringing to you. If there's any additions, any correction, anything, any questions, please send it to the number showing on your screen. And I want to use this opportunity to say thank you to the Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, for his support and for all that he's doing concerning child abuse issues. I want to say thank you to the Honorable Commissioner for Education for ensuring that we bring this program to your home during this time, and for you to be enlightened on issues bordering on child abuse and child protection and safeguarding as it regards what we have in place in Lagos State. I want to say a big thank you to the PS Education, to all the Tutor General Permanent Secretaries, to you parents at home with your children, and of course to the children and to all caregivers. We will meet you next on this program, same station, same time, and we look forward to bringing wonderful things, issues bordering on all that has to do with total education of your child to your screen. And I remain your host, Wunmi Tolualalade. See you next time. Bye, and be safe.